Well, hey, gang, what is going on out there today? It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Hope you're having a great start to January. Where are we? Oh, my gosh, the 27th, 2021. Beautiful day, I think, out here in the desert. Going to be chilly, but hopefully the grass courts will be playable at 9:30 this morning. The Big O and I getting out there doing our 75, maybe even a 90-minute little workout today. Crack a great sweat and all that good stuff. So, look, guys, I've got a couple things for you today. We're going to go through a checklist that I made for you on the Topspin serve, and it's a technique checklist. Some of the technique and all this stuff is mental too, right? So it's part of that. Anyway, I've got this thing. Anyway, I'm going to go through it. I got a couple videos I want to show you. Before we do that, I just want to make sure that you're aware that this week what I've got is a slice backhand. And what I've got for you is I've added 4 bonuses, and they're all kind of based around I've got the slice backhand course, right? So if your slice backhand is not behaving the way you want, what I've got is the master class. It's kind of a 5-step system master class, but I've added 4 bonuses, all based on kind of this thing right here, the Master of Disguise, which to me is the beauty of the slice backhand. It's the setup position. Once you get the setup position right, where that opponent doesn't know whether you're going to go ahead and play a standard slice backhand ground stroke. Maybe you're going to play the drop shot. You can also play a pass with this in terms of disguise. They don't know if you're going up the line. They don't know if you're going to lob. They don't know if you're maybe going cross court or just playing it short. The high point of contact, and then the drop volley. And this whole thing is typically, the retail is $585. You can pick it up for just $47 by this Saturday night, right? Saturday night, January 30th at 11 p.m. out here in the West Coast Pacific time zone. So the link is in the description area if you want to take a look at that. Let's get back here for a second. I don't think I even showed that to you. I don't think I even shared that with you. What am I doing? Yes, I did. There you go. All right, so let's stop that. And now I want to go through the checklist here in the serve. And I've actually got 12 things that I want to talk about. And let me get this first video up here, which is going to be this one right there. Let's see, where are we here? Is this it? No, it is this one. Good. So let's go through each one of the 12 things. And I've got 2 videos, so we're going to kind of bang through this real quickly. And look, at the end, if you want my notes on this, I'm more than happy to send it to you in a PDF version. All you got to do is direct message me at Facebook or shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com, and I'll be happy to get it to you. All right, thing 1 is as you're bouncing the ball, I'm thinking one of 3 things, right? I'm thinking either out wide, I'm thinking to the body, or I'm thinking tee right now, right? Looking down, getting ready to kind of get organized with the start of the motion. And here's the bounce, right? I mean, I'm not a Novak guy, right? I'm not into 17 bounces. I'm getting everything organized really as I kind of step up the line here in terms of, number 1, as I do it through that one bounce, where am I going? Out wide, to the body, or towards the tee. And there's no thought of, as I finally commit to my spot over there, as to this is not going to get returned. I'm not going to hit this thing so big that it's either an ace or it's an unreturnable serve. All I'm thinking about really is what have I been doing up to this point in the match in terms of where I'm serving to? What might that returner be thinking, right? And I just, like a pitcher, I want to keep him a little off balance, right? I'm not going to come in with, and none of us are going to consistently come in with a big bomber over and over. Once in a while, sure, but your intention is never going to be, this thing is not coming back. All right. So as I look up, what I'm actually looking up as if I've decided to go, for example, let's say I've decided to go body. Well, where's that spot over the top of the net that will actually go to the body? I'm not thinking about looking from the baseline through the net, through that obstacle I want to avoid. I'm not looking at a spot through the net over there. I'm actually looking at a spot above the net, right? So that I pull my target a lot closer that will go to one of those three choices: out wide, body, or tee. Now, look, the other thing I'm doing here is I'm also going through grip tension. I'm feeling grip tension. And typically for me, maybe not for you, but for me, I always want to go a little bit looser than whatever I'm feeling right then, right? And I might wiggle my fingers a little bit just to make sure that I don't have too much grip tension. And look, maybe in the first couple service games that you've got in the match, okay, you might be loose. But once, like, you know, if you're serving right here at 6'5", 40, 30, what are the chances that your grip tension's not as loose as you want as you kind of pick up your eyes to look at that target above the top of the net? Might not be as loose as you want. So go ahead and make sure that you release it and make it looser than you want. Number 4 is I'm not thinking negative thoughts, right? Number 4 is to be confident. Number 4 is to trust. Number 4 is just to, don't second guess your target. I think a lot of times what happens is you've decided, you know what, I'm going out wide. And now as you go through the motion and you visually find the ball, you go, no way, man, no way. I'm not going out wide. No, I'm going tee. I'm going tee. No, man, right here is you're confident with your choice and you're totally committed to it, right? And if you don't like the toss, if you put the toss somewhere that it doesn't allow you to efficiently go to that spot you want to go, catch it, right? But as you get better at this, you're going to get really good control of your toss, right? So, all right. So confident. Number 4 is being confident, is trusting, and just don't second guess your target. All right. Let's get back to the mechanics of it. Your arm, at least for me with my tossing arm, I started with the tossing arm's bent at the elbow, right? I'm not straight with the arms. It's bent, it's relaxed. And as I come down, and look, there's several other ways to toss. This is what I do. I'm not telling you what's the exact right way for you. Look, we see a lot of players from right here simply take the racket and go into that sort of racket setup position where they don't go down at all. For me, I like this feeling of going down with the arms, right? And all I'm thinking about here is straightening my tossing arm. My tossing arm gets straight right down around that front thigh. And really where I'm feeling the ball right now, I'm feeling the ball in my tossing shoulder. I want to make sure that I'm not squeezing tightly on the ball here. I want to make sure that I'm feeling the ball in my tossing shoulder so that I'm lifting the ball, and this gets into number 6, I'm lifting the ball from the shoulder. And the mistake I used to make before I got with Mr. Stowe, I'd lift the ball with my wrist, right? I'd get really loose in here with the wrist, kind of flippy floppy. And right about here, I would actually stop the upward motion of the shoulder and start to really bend the elbow. And what the problem with that is I never got into the proper setup swing position, which I'm going to show you. But what I want you to feel is that down here, you're feeling the ball in your hand, obviously, but you're feeling it in that shoulder, and you're lifting the ball from the shoulder so that when you finish the tossing motion with the arm straight up, right, is that you get into this position. Too many players abbreviate right about here. They kind of stop. Look, the ball's left your hand, a hair above head height. And a lot of players just stop right here. Okay, you might get the toss where you want it, but what you don't do is you don't get into the proper hitting setup position, right? The swing position. So look, as we go up from the shoulder, there's a rhythm, there's a tempo. right? And as you release the ball, you don't change that tempo. You keep the tempo, finishing the tossing motion with your arm pointing straight up in the sky. Okay. Now, the toss I just went through 7A. Here's 7B. The toss should land. If you stopped everything in practice, this toss should be landing inside the baseline, right? And I say, even on serve and volley, I see lots of players toss behind them, right? I see, look, if you're in the tour, okay, fine. You can do this. You're a young buck. You got world-class athletic ability. You've got all these trainers. You've got flexibility. You've got strength. You can get more spin back there. But for the rest of us, let's be realistic. Let's see what actually works, right? Let's not believe the hype. Let's not believe the clickbait out there. Let's put the toss in front. And I know you're thinking, well, if the toss is in front, how do I get spin? We're going to get to that, right? So finishing the toss with the tossing arm straight up, right? So that you're now in the proper swing position so that you can actually swing up and create the upspin, the top spin that you want. So number 8, initially reach up for the ball, not with your hand, but with your racket shoulder, right? So you're reaching up with the racket shoulder to initiate the swing. And when you do that, the racket naturally drops unless you got the death grip, right? And we've already started off with trying to make sure your hand's good and relaxed, because swing speed, natural swing speed, comes from a relaxed grip. It doesn't come from muscling the ball, right? So you initially start the swing up from that racket shoulder. And then number 9 is when you eventually swing up with the hand, with the racket, is I don't want the toss and my top of my swing to actually be the highest point. I actually want to feel that at contact, there's an inch, let's call it an inch, whatever, maybe it's 2 inches, but I can actually swing up past contact rather than thinking, well, right here, I'm pulling down, right? So I'm going to let the racket continue slightly up and release it, right? And look at where this thing releases to. Look at where the racket head is, right? It's down because there's been so much relaxation in that wrist. It just naturally turns over. Okay, so that was number 9. Swing up through the ball and slightly up past contact with a relaxed grip. Grip tension slows down swing speed. Now, here's the thing with getting the kind of topspin you want, even though the toss is in front, is that you've got to stay slightly sideways at contact so that the string bed does what you want. It imparts that upspin. If you open up the shoulders too early, and a lot of players do this, and the reason they do that is they want to get in, especially in doubles. If you're playing serve and volley, right now you're concerned about the return. Let's say you're concerned about the return being down at your feet or whatever, and you start to open up the shoulders to try to move in and get ready for that, whatever it's going to be, right? It's going to be a volley transition, maybe a half volley, maybe putting the brakes and play the approach. But if you want the kind of spin that gives you some height over the top of the net, controls your power, and actually lands inside the box, you got to stay slightly to more sideways through contact. Number 11, as you come out of this thing, obviously you want to be on balance so that visually, what I'm looking for now, I'm visually looking for the ball, right? I want to lock visually on the ball, and out of my peripheral vision, I can maybe get a clue as to what the return is going to be, right? And I'm locked in the ball, right? I don't think this is a lob. If it is a lob, okay, I'm putting the brakes on here. That's fine, right? I can go back and get it. But I want to measure from this on balance posture in the split step, am I going to play a volley? Am I going to play a half volley? Or am I going to allow the ball to drop and let it bounce up? Because if I go ahead and here's the bounce point of the return, could I lunge forward and play serve and volley? I could. Literally, I could play serve and volley. This would not be a great technique position to play it from. Be reaching way out in front. I'd be off balance. And I might end up after, even if I make it, I'd end up so close to the net, I'd be out of position. So that's number 11. Number 12 is this. You have got to get out there with your phone. You got to turn on the video, have someone hold it. If you've got a tripod, great. But have someone shoot 3 or 4 of your serves. And just, what's that take? 3 or 4 serves, what's that take? 20 seconds at the most. Now you have a 20-second video, and what do you get to do with it? You get to pick apart which of these 11 elements do you have? Well, actually 12, because 7 is 7A and 7B. So there's 12 elements in there. Which of those 12 do you already have baked into your serve, right? There might be 1 or 2 that are missing that, number 1, keeping you from being consistent, and number 2, just you don't have the confidence because you're not sure what you're going to get, right? Wow, we're really way past 7. No apologies today. All right, I want to share one more video with you, and I'm going to just bang through these 12 elements really quickly so that don't take up too much of your time here. Okay, here we go. And we got it. All right, so right here, and I've already gone through the bounce part, right? So this video, my apologies, I've already gone through already gone through the bounce part. But I'm just going to tell you, right? If you come up the line and as you bounce, decide. And I've already, in this case, made my decision. Am I going out wide? Am I going body? Am I going tee? Without any thought of what the result's going to be, other than assuming it's going to come back, right? As I look up, I'm finding that target that will equate to one of those 3 serve locations, right? Out wide, body, or target. I'm looking at the net going, well, if I want to go body, then here's the clearance over the top of that white line, the net that I need to go to. I'm checking my grip tension, right? I'm checking the grip tension to make sure it's looser than what I think it should be. All right, so number 4 is going to be, again, confident. Before you even start, just find some confidence. Just find some confidence, right? Trust it and just don't second guess your target. All right, hold on, Brady. Let's bring it back. Apologies on the choppiness of this thing because it's a video that's already in slow motion. So again, starting with the elbow bent, both elbows bent, the arm comes down to straighten. And look, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. How do you hold the ball? I used to hold it with the palm facing up. I got too flippy floppy with the wrist. I bent the elbow too much. Mr. Stowe had me change how I hold the ball, as if, I've got my thumb and index and third finger around the other side of it. So it's kind of like I'm holding a glass of water. And from here, I'm feeling the ball right here in my shoulder. We're now lifting the shoulder. We're lifting the ball from the shoulder, and there's a rhythm, right? There's no value to a fast tossing motion. No value at all, because you might think, well, I want to, a fast tossing motion means I get more power, more swing speed. Not at all, right? So there's a rhythm going up with the toss. It releases, and you continue that swing, not the swing, you continue the rhythm speed, right? The tempo, so that you finish with this arm straight up. Now, why is this important? Number 1, I get better control of my toss placement, where if I stopped right now, where would this toss land? It would be somewhere inside the baseline. But number 2 is that it puts you into the swing setup position. This is the most important part of the tossing motion, the finish, right? Now from here, I'm going to initiate the swing up from the racket shoulder, up with this shoulder here, relax grip, and where are we here? All right, we're going to stay sideways at contact a little bit so that, right, you get the spin that you want, and that as you come out of this, you find the ball. I don't find the opponent. I find the ball. And out of my peripheral, I get a clue or 2. in terms of what their shot choice is going to be. But I've already found the ball on balance, and there you have it. So look, guys, let's stop the share and let's come back here, and we're at 20 minutes. Come on, baby. I got to get off this thing because I've got my 7:30 January 2021 31-day reboot coming up here in 10 minutes. So would love to get your feedback. Number one, any questions, any comments, any remarks down in the comments area. That would be the appropriate place to do it. If you want to get a copy of my notes on today's serve technique, for the Topspin serve technique, I'm happy to give it to you. I'll just, all I need to do is either direct message me over at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And do not forget, if your slice backhand is misbehaving, my course, it's a simplified 5-step course, 5 steps in terms of technique. I've got 4 bonus videos this week until Saturday night, this coming Saturday night, January 30th, 11 p.m. out here, Pacific time zone. And those 4 bonus videos are titled The Master of Disguise, right? Which to me is like, as we talked about recently, tennis, a strategy could be all about disguise. It could be all about false advertising. It could be jerking your opponent around, not because you're blowing big serves by him, because you're blowing that big forehand by him, which we all know we can do once in a while, but as a strategy or as a tactic, no way, baby. No way, it's not going to work. You've got to have some disguise in your game. And the best way to, or I should say the best way, one of the ways to do it, to make it fastest, is with a slice backhand. So there you have it, guys. That link to the course where you can pick it up is down below in the description area. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. As always, there it is. Got to get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again tomorrow.